Awesome. So in an online environment, one of the things that trainers really struggle with when they first start out delivering online is how do you actually get people to respond? How do you get people to participate? And it amazes me that people struggle with this because it's not that hard. And when you're actually delivering online, there's something in Zoom and even in Teams that if you get good at, your session can be completely transformed. And that is the chat box or the text box, right? We need to appreciate that in an online environment, one of the biggest things is that when you ask a question, your audience need to know how you want them to respond. So if you say, how are you feeling today? How is everyone? You're instantly going to get confusion or people a little bit stunned because they don't know how to respond to your question. And we need to get into the habit, or trainers need to get into the habit of telling people how to respond. So raise your hand if you're feeling good today, or type in the chat box how you're feeling today. Or Bill, go ahead, unmute yourself and tell the group, how are you feeling today? And when we actually get very good at questioning our audience and using the modalities or response methods there, then we can make our sessions really, really engaging. But it takes time and it takes energy and effort to actually practice doing that. Now, one of the things I've noticed is that if you can get very good at closed response questions, your engagement levels go through the roof. So, for example, drop a yes in the chat box if you can hear me and see me. That is the way that I'll start out every session. I'll say drop a P for present in the chat box if you're back after the break, and I'll get people to drop a P in the chat box. I'll say, would you agree that, it's very warm today? Drop a yes in the chat box if you would agree with that. So I'm constantly looking to get agreement. And I may even say, all right, we are looking at a core concept. I will say, all right, we're talking about rapport, but before we go into it, everyone drop an R for rapport in the chat box. Or there may be something that we've just gone through. Maybe we've talked about the 6 steps to doing something. And I might say, all right, we've just gone through the 6 steps to do X, Y, Z. Before I move on, folks, drop in the chat, how many steps are there that we've just covered? Right? And then I'll wait for everyone to drop the number in there. And essentially, the more you can actually get people to respond in that chat box and also create a habit and an insistence that you are not moving on until everybody's participated, engagement goes through the roof. And it's a brand new, different type of experience for people because they haven't really experienced that before. And some feedback that I got recently was I never had a moment where I could switch off. I never had a moment where I could check my emails or look at my Facebook or my Twitter because I was constantly being asked to respond. And I thought that was pretty cool. That's great feedback. And one of the biggest, hurdles or things that we battle against is people's attention span. So we need to be constantly looking to get people to engage, respond. And if we do so, then our sessions are going to be, even more of an experience as opposed to sit there and being spoken at, so to speak. The other thing around breakout rooms, highly recommend people do them. And when you put people into breakout rooms, make your activities short, sharp, and make them quick and easy to do. So I generally only put people in breakout rooms for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then I want to bring them back as quick as possible and weave that throughout. Then I also want to use the whiteboard. I also want to use PowerPoints, but I want to have suspense on those slides, right? So I'm giving you a few things to think about here, but fundamentally, I just looked at what were the greats doing in regards to Zoom. People like Anthony Robbins, people like Authentic Education, people like who were the gurus in presenting. And I'm like, all right, what are they doing? How are they doing it? And let me model that. And so far, that's been quite successful for me.